Summit and Expo 2026. It is a gentle request to all our esteemed guests gracing this occasion to kindly take seats. And here's a polite reminder for all of us to keep our mobile phones on silent, please. I thank you very much for your kind cooperation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. May I request you by our chief guest and guest of honor, the Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and the President of the International Solar Alliance Assembly, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji. We will also be graced by the Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri Shripad Yesso Nayak ji. May I invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to kindly be seated. Thank you very much. We are delighted to welcome members of the diplomatic fraternity as well, representatives from the international organizations, industry leaders, policy makers, innovators, development partners, members of the press and officials from the Government of India. Thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, India's renewable energy journey has been marked by remarkable progress over the past decade, and today the nation continues to demonstrate that economic growth and sustainable development can move forward together, supported by innovation, policy, and global partnerships. And the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026 promises to be one of India's flagship platforms for dialogue, collaboration, as well as innovation in the renewable energy sector. It will bring together policymakers, industry leaders, technology providers, investors, and international partners, all committed to advancing a shared vision for a sustainable future. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for helping us get this room in order. Thank you. Please take seats. And once again, a polite reminder for all of us in this room to keep our mobile phones on silent. Thank you very much. And today's curtain raiser will mark the beginning of an important journey towards the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, a platform that will bring together governments, industry, technology leaders, and investors in order to accelerate conversations around India's renewable energy future as well as global collaboration. So the summit will also serve as an important meeting point for stakeholders from across the world, in fact, encouraging the exchange of ideas, showcasing cutting-edge technologies, and creating opportunities for very meaningful partnerships that will shape the future of renewable energy. So in saying that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us. Thank you for being an integral part of this curtain raiser towards the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, which is more than just an event. It is actually an invitation to co-create the future, a future that is shaped through meaningful dialogue, strategic partnerships, and collaborative action as governments, industry, academia, and innovators come together with one shared purpose, accelerating the transition towards a greener tomorrow. And on that note, I'm going to leave you, ladies and gentlemen, for a while and be back with you shortly. But request you once again at the back as well to kindly take seats. Polite reminder for all of us to keep our mobile phones on silent as well. That is very important because there shouldn't be any interruptions in the flow of the program. I thank you very, very much for your kind cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. this occasion, the Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, has arrived at the venue and he's going to be joining us very shortly, which is why I request you once again to kindly be seated. And here's a polite reminder for all of us to keep our mobile phones on silent. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind cooperation. The Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Government of India, as well as the President of the International Solar Alliance Assembly, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, has reached the venue and he's going to be joining us any minute now. He's also being joined by Shri Shripad Yesso Nayak ji, the Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Government of India. And shortly we will have, ladies and gentlemen, gracing this dais, Shri Santosh Kumar Sarangi, the Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Shri Ashish Khanna, the Director General of International Solar Alliance, Shri Abhay Bakre, Mission Director, National Green Hydrogen Mission, Shri Rajesh Kulhari, Joint Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and Shri J.V.N. Subramaniam, Joint Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So I request you all, ladies and gentlemen, to kindly be seated. Once again, a polite reminder to double check that our mobile phones are on silent. I thank you very much for your kind cooperation. The Honorable Minister will be here any minute now, ladies and gentlemen, which is why I request you once again to kindly be seated. He has arrived at the hotel and he's going to be taking the elevator any minute now. And I have to also say, ladies and gentlemen, that the theme of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026 is Invest, Innovate and Inspire, which is more than a theme, it is truly a call to action. May I request you all, ladies and gentlemen, to please now settle in because the Honorable Minister is going to make his way very shortly to this banquet and we will begin with the proceedings of the curtain raiser leading to the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. So as I was saying, the theme itself, Invest, Innovate, Inspire, is a call to action, a call to invest with confidence, innovate with purpose, and inspire collective progress towards a cleaner and more sustainable future. So invest, innovate, inspire, essentially just three simple words. But these three simple words capture India's vision for the future of renewable energy, where investment fuels innovation, innovation drives progress, and progress inspires the generations to come. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you to please settle in. I'm being apprised over and over that we have to get this house in order, and I seek your cooperation towards that. Please settle in, please be seated, and please ensure that our mobile phones are on silent. We will very shortly warmly welcome the Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, in our midst. And he's going to walk to this stage, ladies and gentlemen, seated on the dais. We also have the presence of the Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri Shripad Yesso Nayak ji. I'm going to request you all to please settle in. Thank you very much. In the august presence of the Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, and the Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri Shripad Yesso Nayak ji. May I invite you to please be seated. I thank you very much for your kind cooperation in settling in. Here's a polite reminder once again that goes out to all of us in this room for keeping our mobile phones on silent. I thank you very much once again for kindly cooperating with us. Please settle in, ladies and gentlemen, for this curtain raiser that leads to the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, the summit that goes beyond conversations, the summit that is about actioning a roadmap for a greener future through industry roundtables, policy dialogues, technical sessions, global partnerships, investment opportunities, networking and business matchmaking, creating an ecosystem really where ideas can translate into action. I thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for being an integral part of this occasion, the curtain raiser towards the same. And may I invite you to please now be seated. Thank you very much. Guests at the back, may I invite you to please be seated. We've got a lot of seating here as well, empty chairs, vacant seating. Please do join us, but let's settle in very quickly. I have been apprised that the Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji is at the venue and he's going to be taking the elevator very soon to join us here at this banquet, which is at the 3rd floor of the Ashoka Hotel. I request you all to kindly now take seats. Once again, I extend a very warm welcome to the members of the diplomatic fraternity. I can see them. Thank you so much for taking time out. Representatives from the international organizations, thank you. We also have industry leaders gracing this occasion, adorning this occasion, policymakers, innovators, development partners, members of the press, and officials from the Government of India. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here in such large numbers. And speaking of numbers, ladies and gentlemen, the scale of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo also reflects India's growing leadership in the renewable energy sector, with participation expected from over 75 countries, more than 20 Indian states, 25 knowledge partners, over 250 high-level delegates, 500 speakers, 80 plus sessions, and over 400 exhibitors as well. The summit promises to be one of the most significant renewable energy gathering of the year. So I'm going to request you, ladies and gentlemen, once again, keeping with the spirit of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo, may I invite you to help us quickly build energy. But before that, we of course request you to please settle in so that we can start. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And just to apprise you, alongside the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit, there will be a world-class expo as well, spread across 32,000 square meters of exhibition space, showcasing cutting-edge technologies, innovative solutions, and the latest advancements that are shaping the future of renewable energy. Ladies and gentlemen, the organizers are requesting me to request you, and this is a polite request to everyone who's in the room to kindly settle in, because we can only have the Honorable Minister walking in once the room is in order. He is at the venue. The Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, is at the Ashok Hotel, but we can only make him walk in once everyone at the back is also seated, please. So can we quickly find our seats, and may I request our team, the volunteers, to kindly help our guests get this room in order, please. Thank you very much once again. Let us all be seated at the back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind cooperation in settling in. May I request you all to kindly please settle in very quickly. We've got to get this house in order. And then we will have the Honorable Minister joining us with his gracious presence. The Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, is going to be here with us any minute. May I request you all to please settle in, everybody at the back. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to settle in now because the Honorable Union Minister is on his way to this room. May I request you to please settle down now. Please settle in. Please take seats very quickly. We have the Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji. He's going to be walking in any minute now. In fact, I've been told in less than a minute. So can we please get to our seats? I thank you very much for your kind cooperation. Please settle in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. We await the arrival of the Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, the Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri Shripad Yeso Nayak ji, and our distinguished dignitaries who are going to be gracing this dais. They're going to be here any minute now. I thank you very much for those of you who have now taken their seats. Thank you very much. Once again, the mobile phone announcement. I hope that our mobile phones are switched to silent. Thank you very much once again for your kind cooperation. Please settle in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much as we welcome you to the curtain raiser of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. Thank you for making time and being here with us. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who are still finding seats, we've got some empty ones over there as well. We've got some empty chairs that side. Thank you for your cooperation. New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, as also the President of the International Solar Alliance Assembly, is going to be joining us very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, and we will very warmly welcome him with a huge round of applause, the Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and the President of the International Solar Alliance Assembly, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji. Let's welcome him with a thunderous round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as he joins us. And we are also being graced by the Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri Shripad Yeso Nayak ji. Let's welcome him with a round of applause as well. Our esteemed dignitaries joining us. Namaskar, sir. आपका बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है. Namaskar, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause once again for our esteemed dignitaries gracing this dais? It is indeed a moment of great privilege for all of us to welcome a visionary leader whose guidance continues to shape India's remarkable journey towards a cleaner and more sustainable future. Under his leadership, the renewable energy sector has witnessed renewed momentum, strengthening India's position as a global leader in clean energy and international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Government of India, and the President of the International Solar Alliance Assembly, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji. A very warm welcome once again, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to extend a warm welcome to the Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri Shripad Yeso Nayak ji. a distinguished leader whose commitment to public service and sustainable development continues to strengthen India's energy landscape, and through his dedicated efforts, he has contributed significantly to advancing the nation's vision for a resilient and future-ready power and renewable energy sector. Can we have a round of applause for Shri Shripad Yesso Nayak ji, Honorable MOS for Power and New and Renewable Energy. And ladies and gentlemen, we also extend a warm welcome to Shri Santosh Kumar Sarangi, Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, seated on the dais. Shri Ashish Khanna, Director General, International Solar Alliance. Can we have a round of applause for Shri Abhay Bakre, Mission Director, National Green Hydrogen Mission. Shri Rajesh Kulhari, Joint Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India. Shri JVN Subramaniam, Joint Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India. With that, we warmly welcome all distinguished guests, industry leaders, members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of partner organizations, international organizations, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say, India's renewable energy journey has evolved into one of the world's most significant clean energy transitions, driven by visionary policies, technological innovation, and international partnerships. The Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, one of the world's largest renewable energy convenings, seeks to bring together the brightest minds across government, industry, academia, the global institutions to shape conversations that will help define the next chapter of this clean energy saga. The 9th session of the International Solar Alliance Assembly and the 4th International Conference on Green Hydrogen will be hosted in conjunction with the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit 2026 from the 2nd to the 5th of November at the iconic Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, India. And today's curtain raiser offers us the first glimpse into that vision. With that, may I request our honorable ministers seated on the dais to step forward for the ceremonial lamp lighting, led by the Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji. The esteemed dignitaries, may I request you kindly to step forward for the lamp lighting ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, during the lighting of the lamp, we often chant the following shloka: Shubham Karoti Kalyanam, Arogyam Dhana Sampada, Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya, Deep Jyotir Namostute.
Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam, Arogyam Dhana Sampada, Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya, Deep Jyotir Namostute. Deepajyotir Namostute. Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam, Arogyam Dhana Sampada. Jyotir Parabrahma, Deepajyotir Janardana, Deepajyotir Parabrahma, Deepajyotir Janardana, Deepo Hartu Me Papam, Sandhya Deepa Namostute. Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam, Arogyam Dhana Sampada. Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam, Arogyam Dhana Sampada.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ministers, esteemed dignitaries, Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam, Arogyam Dhana Sampada, Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya, Deep Jyotir Namostute, which translates to, we pray to you, O Lord of Light, the giver of abundance, prosperity, joy, and good health, and the destroyer of an inimical mind. Thank you very much once again for the ceremonial lamp lighting. Ladies and gentlemen, now to formally commence today's proceedings, it is my privilege and my honor to invite to this podium Shri JVN Subramaniam, Joint Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, to deliver the welcome address. Please help me welcome him with a huge round of applause. Shri JVN Subramaniam, Joint Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy.
Namaskar. Shri Prahalad Joshi ji, Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy and Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and the President of the International Solar Alliance Assembly. Shri Shripad Naik ji, Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy. Shri Santosh Kumar Sarangi ji, Secretary Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Shri Ashish Khanna ji, Director General of the International Solar Alliance, Shri Abhay Bakre ji, Mission Director, National Green Hydrogen Mission, Shri Rajesh Kulhari, Joint Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Your Excellencies present over here today from various missions, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, esteemed guests, senior officers of Government of India, captains from the industry and the media. I'm very happy to extend a warm welcome to you this afternoon for the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026 curtain raiser. Let me start by putting a context to the event today. As you know, India is a land of ancient knowledge, wisdom. It has always demonstrated strong affinity for living in harmony with the nature. You also know that the knowledge that we attained was actively shared with the globe, to the world around in the pages of history. We have seen that umpteen number of times. The theme that guides this principle of the Sanatana Dharma of Bharat is the belief of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the world is one family. This way of life has continued to guide India towards the goal of sustainable development and sharing the beliefs with the world for a global good. So, in line with this spirit, in 2015, India convened its first RE Invest Summit. It was an act of ambition and perhaps also an act of faith at that point in time. India has set out on a path of clean energy transformation at a scale unprecedented and never attempted. RE Invest was a platform which was created to bring the world on that journey to us, to invite leaders, policymakers, industry captains, pioneers, innovators, all sitting together, sharing ideas and building partnerships which this transition was requiring. So, the first gathering, mostly in 2015, was a statement of intent. What followed after that was a story. Edition after edition, RE Invest grew in scale, in depth, in credibility. The conversations in the room kept pace with what was happening on the ground. India's renewable energy ambitions grew, and so did the platform which carried it. The last edition of RE Invest was held in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, which brought together more than 25,000 delegates and over 360 companies across the world. It has become one of the most significant renewable energy events on the global calendar, not because of its sheer size, but because of what it represented. An arena where ambition met investment, where policies met technology, and where India's clean energy story met the world's clean energy community. A decade ago, India asked the world to believe in its renewable energy potential. Then the world was cautious. By the time of the last RE Invest in 2024, the world was not just a believer, it was a partner, an investor, and in many cases, an advocate. But the story has moved on, and so did the platform now. When RE Invest was conceived, India's energy transition was primarily a story of only capacity addition. More solar parks, more gigawatts addition, more targets. The foundation, of course, remains, but the transition today is something bigger. The bigger ambition is on manufacturing, indigenous value chains, moving from solar cells way up to batteries, polysilicon, wafer manufacturing, wind turbines, green hydrogen, and so on. Of course, you would hear more about that from the guests seated on the dais today. So, to sustain the momentum of the India's energy transition, we needed three drivers, mainly the investment, innovation, and inspiration. Of course, the inspiration had always been there and it has been very clearly spelt out by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, under whose leadership we aspire to be 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel installed capacity by 2030 and about 60% of the cumulative electric power installed from non-renewable sources by 2035. So the inspiration is already there and set a target for us. The innovation, of course, has come from industry, who is already present here in huge numbers, and the academia partners who have always been the backbone of research and technology for this leading sector. The investments, absolutely timely and with an effective energy transition, have come together, and the mega event, the summit, will bring together all these conversations and partnerships on all the three aspects together. So starting this year, I'll come to the event now. Starting this year, RE Invest, what we used to call as RE Invest, becomes the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo. This has been rechristened to reflect the expanded scope of India's clean energy mission and commitment to build a platform that matches the scope. So BRE Summit and Expo will cover the full spectrum of what drives energy transition. It covers investment and policy, manufacturing and technology, supply chain skills, communities and workers, all at the center. So today we formally launch the journey towards this defining moment. In a short while from now, we'll hear from the distinguished dignitaries on the dais, from the Honorable Minister MNRE, Honorable MOS Power and MNRE, about this, the defining role India played, the clean energy story how India has transformed the clean energy stories across, and we'll also hear about what India's ambitions mean for the world. So let me stop here. I will not anticipate what the remarks of Honorable Ministers would be, except to say that he will unveil this afternoon, I believe, one of the most important events in the India's clean energy story. So it is my honor and privilege to welcome you all once again for the curtain raiser of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that warm welcome and for setting the tone for today's curtain raiser. And your address has beautifully captured India's journey from aspiration to achievement and from national ambition to global partnership. And with that inspiring vision, we look forward to a new chapter with the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, to further set the context for today's curtain raiser and offer a glimpse into the vision behind the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, we now invite your attention to the screening of a very special curtain raiser film. Can we have the AV, please?
Turn the pages of history, and India's contribution to human innovation has been pivotal. From the number system to yoga to the earliest known universities, India has discovered, refined, and shared knowledge through the ages. We have long possessed a civilizational understanding that human progress must remain in harmony with the natural world. We've worshipped the sun, honored the earth, celebrated our rivers. This makes India a natural frontrunner to meet the energy challenge of our time. Across the nation, solar parks, wind corridors, green transmission networks, energy storage systems, domestic manufacturing capacity, and green hydrogen deployment are creating an ecosystem of scale, speed, and self-reliance. In just over a decade, the country has added more than 210 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity, achieving 50% of its non-fossil ambitions, 5 years ahead of schedule. Solar power is transforming agriculture and strengthening food security. With nearly 5 million rooftops solarized, Indian consumers are turning prosumers, powered by one of the fastest growing industrial ecosystems. As the world stands at the cusp of a critical energy transition, India today provides a unique platform. A hub where ideas can be tested at scale. A laboratory where solutions can be created. And a launchpad for humanity's next great leap. In the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, it is time for governments, investors, innovators, manufacturers, researchers, and entrepreneurs to join hands to build the global energy future. Welcome to the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, where India's capabilities meet the world's possibilities. Invest, innovate, inspire.
Thank you for giving that film a watch, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that the Curtain Raiser film has provided an inspiring preview of the vision, opportunities, and collaborative spirit that will define the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. And with that, it is my privilege to invite Shri Ashish Khanna, Director General of the International Solar Alliance, India's first treaty-based multilateral organization headquartered in the country, focusing on solar energy and intergovernmental alliance based in the global south, leading a new era of south-led global cooperation on clean energy. I request Shri Ashish Khanna to kindly deliver his address. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome him, Shri Ashish Khanna, Director General, International Solar Alliance.
Honorable Minister Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, who's also the President of ISA Assembly, Honorable Minister of State Shri Yashopad Naik ji, Secretary Shri Santosh Sarangi ji, dignitaries on the dais, friends from industry, from all the diplomatic missions and from the media, a very good evening and a very warm welcome. Let me take you back 10 years. In 2015, India made two decisions in the same breath. The first was to invite the world in, that Mr. Subramaniam just shared with you, the very first reinvest that opens India's doors to global capital. The second was a quieter, but its own way just as bold. Standing on the world stage in Paris COP, India, together with France, founded the International Solar Alliance and invited every sun-rich nation on earth to join. The first decision brought the world to India. The second decision made sure India is taken to the world. Today, we are delighted that in this journey, the two intersections of the road are coming together. The vision of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, of having 1,000 gigawatt of solar seemed too ambitious way back in 2015. Fast forward to today, as we speak, the world has done 2,300 gigawatts of solar. Just last year, 80% of all new power plants in the world were renewable energy, and 80% of all of those renewable plants was solar. India has actually matched that equally. It took 14 years to do the first 50 gigawatts of solar. The last 50 gigawatts have been done in just last 14 months. What the world has seen, as we see from the international lens, especially after the Hormuz crisis, 75% of humanity that imports fossil fuels as gas are going to spend roughly close to 1 trillion US dollars additional to pay for their energy supplies. So from where we see the path to solar and more of it is not only because of climate change and economics, because the price came down by 90% over a decade, it's more and more also because of energy security and national security. Rightfully so, the world today is talking about increasing the pace of electrification. The world today has only 22% of its primary energy through electricity. It has been increasing only at the pace of 0.3% per year globally. There is a move that this should increase 5 times more to 1.5%. And not only us at ISA, but whether it is IEA, whether it is IRENA, the entire world believes that the fastest way and the cheapest way for world not only to meet today's energy, but because of increased electrification, will be solar storage and transmission. However, unfortunately, it is not spread evenly all over the world. 660 million people still do not have energy access, with Africa accounting for majority of that. And in spite of 60% of solar radiation of the world, Africa receives less than 1% of global investments. So as an alliance of 128 countries, Global South's largest multilateral, our role is to have not only all the great lessons from India, but also from all over the world, and help countries on demand aggregation and scalable platforms. One such platform is about solarizing Africa, where we are launching the first financing facility of Africa Solar Facility in partnership with World Bank, Africa 50, led by ISA, Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, in which private sector will get a lot of equity investments in doing decentralized renewable energy. Building on India's success of PM Kusum, the world's largest solarization of agriculture program, where more than 4 million solar pumps have been done, we are bringing together to start off 6 countries of Africa of what will it take for them to come together as a community of practice and do at least 1 million solar pumps, because Africa, where only 4% of arable land is irrigated, has solar irrigation and solar agriculture as one of the primary needs. Our role was also of helping small countries come together on demand aggregation when we were set up. I'm pleased to report that over last year, 18 small island states, be it 5 from Pacific, 9 from Caribbean, and 4 from Africa and Asia, have come together on a political declaration of SIDS platform on aggregating their demand so that they can get large private sector and low prices. And it is not only a talk, because the first 225 megawatt solar and storage package for Mauritius is today on ISA's e-platform to be bid to private sector. We have signed country partnership frameworks with 15 countries that is now developing a pipeline of 1 gigawatt of projects. And we believe that the Global South must have its own narrative of what are the most important thought leadership going forward, be it on industrial policy of looking at supply chains of local manufacturing, be it looking at global solar technology trends, or be it looking at how to do storage more effectively along with transmission. But what is most heartening over the last 18 months has been to see what solar can do to lives of a common citizen. I was in Uganda in May, where a farmer showed me how solar pump has doubled his income because of his ability to do 12 months round the crops. And obviously, sitting in India, we have seen that happening through PM Kusum as well. So the power of solar is when the village gets its first light, a health facility gets electricity so that the vaccines are no longer spoiled, a farmer is able to double his income, and a student is able to sit and study in the night. And that is all possible because nobody can take the sun away from any country. This is why at the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit, we have made sure that this year, India's strengths and expertise are combined with 3 additional events: ISA Assembly with all the 128 member countries, the International Green Hydrogen Conference, and World Bank-led energy storage partnership having more than 70 countries and organizations. Under one roof, the whole architecture of the energy sector, right from manufacturing to generation, transmission, distribution, finance, capacity building, all of them are going to come together. So let me extend you a very warm invitation. Please do join us in early November 2nd to 5th, as you just saw the video, not only to witness India's own achievement and the potential, but all our 128 countries to come together through governments, leading financial sector, private equity players, financial institutions, policymakers and stakeholders, because the world and the humanity needs all of us to come together to stitch an affordable and reliable clean energy plan to all our humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for that insightful address and for reminding us that the energy transition is not only a national endeavor but a shared global mission. And thank you for highlighting the spirit of global collaboration that will define the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, as India continues to accelerate its renewable energy transition, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy remains at the forefront of driving policy, innovation, and implementation to achieve the nation's ambitious clean energy goals. It is indeed my privilege to invite Shri Santosh Kumar Sarangi, Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, to deliver the special address. Please help me welcome him with a huge round of applause. Shri Santosh Kumar Sarangi, sir, please.
Namaskar. Honorable Minister, MNRE, Food, Public Distribution and Consumer Affairs, Sri Prahlad Joshi ji, Honorable MOS for MNRE and Ministry of Power, Sri Shripad Yashonaik ji, my colleagues on the dais, DG ISA, distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, senior officers from Government of India, leaders from the industry, colleagues from the media. It's a great pleasure to welcome all of you to this particular curtain raiser event, which is being organized on the eve of Bharat Renewable Summit and Expo, which is coming up in November first week. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you for this curtain raiser, and the Honorable Minister, both the ministers would unveil the vision for the summit in a while. We'll also witness the launch of Urja Chakra, which is the eternal cycle of energy, and that will be the summit mascot for the forthcoming summit. They will also launch the website as well as the app, which will be used by the delegates joining this particular summit. But before we go into the details of the summit, in order to figure out what the summit really offers, we must truly understand the real story of India's energy transition, which mere numbers can never do justice to. I would like to let the learned audience here to ponder over some questions. How did a country with only about 75 gigawatt in 2014 get on to nearly 297 gigawatts today? How did solar tariffs drop from about 11 rupees to around 2.5 rupees? How did a sector that largely governed government subsidized 12 years ago become one of the most competitive, most market driven sectors in the Indian economy? The answer is not geography. India is not the only country with renewable resources. The answer is not technology either. That is, cheaper solar panels arrived everywhere, not just in India. The answer is India built the conditions for this transformation to happen deliberately, systematically, over 12 years period under the guidance of a visionary leader, that is the Prime Minister of our country, Sri Narendra Modi. As the secretary of this ministry, which has been at the center of this particular journey, I want to take a few minutes to explain how this was done. Because how matters as much as what, and because understanding how we got here is key to understanding where we are going next. There are four foundational pillars on which India's energy journey has been founded on. The first foundation is the policy stability. In 2015, India made a commitment at Paris to achieve 40% of non-fossil fuel installed electricity capacity by 2030, which looked very ambitious at that point of time. We achieved that before time, much before time. Then we made a commitment to achieve 50% of non-fossil fuel capacity by 2030, which we achieved 5 years in advance. Similarly, the initial target of 175 gigawatt or renewable based capacity for 2022 was enhanced to 500 gigawatt by the Honorable Prime Minister, and this has provided us with the benchmark to be achieved by 2030, and that kind of steers all the policy decision in the ministry and across ministries. On the policy front, a number of measures were taken. The renewable purchase obligation, the renewable consumption obligation, the interstate transmission system waiver, a host of policies were outlined to facilitate the deployment of RE and also the manufacturing of RE. And this consistent credible signal to the investors, to the developers and lenders in the world has ensured that India is serious and it will not change course. Policy stability doesn't mean rigid policies. It means maintaining directions while adapting the instruments. It means becoming flexible and nimble to adapt yourself to changing circumstances. The second foundation of India's energy journey has been the market creation. One of the most consequential decision India made was to transition from administratively determined tariff to price discovery through an open market tariff, competitive based tariff bidding mechanism. And the difference was dramatic. Solar power tariffs fell from about 11 rupees per unit in 2010-11 to about 2 rupees and 50 paise today. But I would also like to clear something. This is not primarily a story about global technology prices becoming cheaper, though that certainly helped. This is a story about market design, about the discipline of the competition and the confidence of long-term investors the credibility of a policy framework, and it consistently delivered on the promises of those policy framework. We have to continue to depend market designs. Green open access rules are enabling industrial consumers, commercial consumers to procure renewable energy on a much bigger scale. And the distribution and the prosumer framework, where consumers are becoming the producers today, including India Energy Stacks development, is now allowing the households to generate, consume, and give electricity back to the grid. The government has created the architecture, but the market is doing the building development. The third foundation has been building the ecosystem, and this requires a strong domestic manufacturing base, quality supply chain, and an investment ecosystem, and the skills to operate at scale. Building this took deliberate effort and deliberate investment. In 2014, the solar module manufacturing capacity was only 2.3 gigawatt in our country. Today it is 203 gigawatt. Similarly, wind manufacturing, we are the third largest manufacturing ability in the world with about 24 gigawatt of wind manufacturing capacity. Our cell manufacturing plan is well on track to achieve 100 gigawatt by the end of next year. The government has facilitated a production linked initiative by contributing 24,000 crore to the PLI kitty for supporting domestic manufacturing. Our approved list of models and manufacturers has now expanded to ingots and wafers to build self-reliance across the entire solar value chain. The ambition goes beyond domestic supply. India has strong potential to become a global hub for renewable energy manufacturing, project development, and exports. The combination of scale, cost competitiveness, and policy clarity that India offers is what makes India one of the most attractive destinations for RE. In the last 2 years, our renewable sector received an investment of 5.8 lakh crore and a FDI of nearly $7 billion. We only expect this amount to grow further in the future years. The fourth foundation is infrastructure creation. Generation capacity that cannot reach the consumer is capacity that doesn't count. So in this context, the grid is one of the next frontiers of India's energy transition. Curtailment of energy remains a real challenge, and we are working closely with Ministry of Power, Central Electricity Authority, and Central Transmission Utility to ensure that India is able to address this issue very systematically. Our ambition is clear: to build a smart, robust grid that can carry power across the country, connecting resources to demand and enabling the next phase of India's renewable energy growth. The battery energy storage system is another piece of this infrastructure puzzle, and we are scaling best deployment, and the technology costs are falling faster than most anticipated. The policy is keeping pace. Friends, these four foundations have delivered India's 12-year transformation. But we must now ask, what does the next chapter entail? I believe the next phase requires a shift in how we think about our goal. The first phase was about installed capacity. The next phase must be about system capability. India is making this transition for enabling system capability through hybrid projects, combination of solar, wind, and battery energy storage system. And these combinations offer a lot of higher efficiency, more predictable generation profile, and provide the foundation for what we call renewable energy round the clock supplies. At the same time, we are also building a lot of other initiatives to sustain the momentum in the country. Initiatives relating to floating solar, agrivoltaics, National Green Hydrogen Mission are all aimed at supplementing India's green energy transition. Friends, India's electricity demand is about to enter a new phase of growth, driven by forces that didn't exist in their present form even 5 years ago. The data center industry is accelerating rapidly on the back of AI and digital services, and that is expected to add enormously to India's power demand over the next decade. The growth of electric mobility, connected technologies, and smart manufacturing will create unprecedented demand for electricity. The Ministry of MNRE is committed to ensuring that India's policy framework is always one step ahead of where the sector needs to go. That the rules are clear, the targets are credible, and the ecosystem is designed to attract capital, technology, and the talent that this mission demands. That is our commitment, and it is not changing. Friends, Bharat Renewable Energy Summit will bring together the full spectrum of India's and the world's clean energy ambition. Governments and investors, manufacturers, innovators, institutions, and international partners. I would like to take this opportunity to invite global leaders, policymakers, companies, investors, financial institutions, think tanks, and the academia to join us at this summit from 2nd to 5th November 2026 at Bharat Mandapam. The fourth edition of the International Conference on Green Hydrogen is being organized as part of this mega event. Along with that, the DG ISA has already informed the General Assembly of ISA will also be held at the same time. The detailed agenda shall be hosted on the dedicated website in a while, and an app will be available with all of you. And these website and app shall provide a seamless experience for registration, for attendance, and for networking. Friends, the conversation we have here in November will matter well beyond the summit itself. They will shape the policies, investments, and technologies that define the decadal growth ahead. The foundations are in place, the launchpad is ready. The journey begins now, and I'll be looking forward to a huge participation on the part of the countries which will be joining us, the state governments which will be joining us, and the industry which will be joining on a much bigger scale in the BRES of 2026. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for very eloquently outlining the strong foundations that have enabled India's renewable energy transformation and for underscoring the vision, policy, and steadfast commitment that have shaped this remarkable success story and will continue to guide its next phase of growth. Thank you very much. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 compelling addresses at this curtain raiser of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, we now delightfully invite you to watch a film that unveils the ambition, scale, and global significance of this landmark platform for advancing the clean energy transition. Let's have the AV, please.
Welcome to Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. In conjunction with the 9th session of the International Solar Alliance Assembly and the 4th International Conference on Green Hydrogen, the space where the next begins. While building a solar-powered future through international cooperation at the ISA Assembly and hosting green hydrogen networking at ICGH 2026. Bharat Renewable Summit and Expo 2026 marks the next evolution of India's flagship renewable energy platform. It is one of the largest global expos where the world will converge to connect and co-create the future. Actioning the roadmap for the greener future with industry roundtables, policy sessions, technical sessions, global partnerships, investment opportunities, networking and matchmaking. With participation from 75 plus countries, 20 plus Indian states, 25 plus knowledge partners, 250 plus high-level delegates, 80 plus sessions, 500 plus speakers, and 400 plus exhibitors. It's one mega expo with 32,000 square meter of exhibition space. With focused intervention around investment and green financing, solar energy and global solar markets, green hydrogen, role of women in RE, digitalization and AI in energy, wind and hybrid energy systems, energy storage and grid integration, distributed renewable energy, bioenergy and clean energy manufacturing. Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. Invest, innovate, inspire.
We have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We hope this film has offered a glimpse into a landmark platform that will advance dialogue, innovation, and collaboration in renewable energy. And ladies and gentlemen, taking so much inspiration this far, our next speaker is a distinguished parliamentarian, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to introduce him to you, an experienced public representative who has made significant contributions across several key portfolios in the Government of India. With decades of dedicated service in public life, he has consistently championed initiatives aimed at strengthening infrastructure, promoting sustainable development, and improving the lives of citizens. As the Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Shri Shripad Yeso Nayak ji plays a very significant role in advancing India's vision for a resilient, sustainable and future-ready energy sector, supporting the nation's commitment to clear growth and energy security. What a privilege it is for me to invite him, ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, Shri Shripad Yeso Nayak ji, Honorable Minister of State for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Government of India.
Namaskar. Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Mani Sri Prahlad Joshi ji, Secretary MNRE, Sri Santosh Kumar Sarangi ji, DG International Solar Alliance, Sri Ashish Khanna ji, Mission Director, National Green Hydrogen Mission, Sri Abhay Bakre ji, Joint Secretaries, Sri JVN Subramaniam ji, and Sri Rajesh Kullari ji, Excellencies, distinguished guests, industry leaders, members of the diplomatic community, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar and good evening to all. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the curtain raiser of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. Today is not merely the launch of another global event. It is the unveiling of a new chapter in India's clean energy journey, a journey that is no longer measured only in gigawatts, but in people, partnership, and possibilities. India's renewable energy transition is unique because it is unfolding simultaneously across desert, coastlines, mountains, islands, villages, and cities. Every state is contributing in its own way to this national movement. Rajasthan is harnessing its vast solar resources. Gujarat is creating the world's largest hybrid renewable energy park in Khavda. The Himalayan state continues to strengthen our hydropower base, while Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Goa, and many other states are demonstrating innovative solutions in floating solar, biomass, and decentralized renewable energy. Together, they illustrate the true strength of the cooperative and competitive federalism. The real success of this transition, however, is not in power plant alone. It is in transforming lives. Under PM Suryagar, millions of households are becoming the energy producer. Through PM Kusum, our farmers are emerging not only as a Annadata, but also as a Urjadatas, generating clean energy while securing additional income. Renewable energy has become an instrument of social empowerment, rural prosperity, and inclusive development. Friends, I find profound meaning in the Urja Chakra being unveiled today. It symbolizes the eternal cycle of energy generation, storage, transmission, consumption, and renewal. More importantly, it reflects India's civilizational philosophy that sustainable progress is achieved when nature, technology, and humanity moves together in harmony. It reminds us that the energy transition is not merely an engineering challenge, it is a societal transformation. As we move towards 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel capacity by 2030, India is also building the ecosystem that will sustain this growth: advanced manufacturing, energy storage, green hydrogen, smart grid, skilled manpower, and resilient supply chain. Today, our non-fossil based installed generation capacity is almost touching 300 gigawatts, with a robust pipeline in place to take it well ahead of targeted 500 gigawatt, reflecting both ambitions and execution. The Bharat Renewable Energy Summit Expo 2026 will therefore serve as a platform where governments, industries, innovators, investors, and academia come together to convert ideas into investment, technologies into solutions, and partnerships into lasting progress. I warmly invite all our national and international partners to join us this November in shaping a cleaner, greener, and more energy secure future. With this word, I once again welcome you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that inspiring and visionary address. Your remarks highlighted how India's renewable energy transition is creating opportunities, empowering communities, and strengthening partnerships across the nation. While you also mentioned the Urja Chakra, which is about to be unveiled, stands as a powerful symbol of our shared commitment to sustainable progress. Your vision for an inclusive, innovative, and globally connected clean energy future has truly set the tone for the journey ahead. Let's have a huge thunderous round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, for our Honorable MOS, Shri Shripad Yaso Naik ji. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we now arrive at a very significant moment in today's program. Now, every great movement begins with a powerful symbol and a shared platform. So it is now my privilege to invite our Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, Honorable MOS, Ministry of Power and Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and our esteemed dignitaries gracing this day to unveil the identity and digital gateway of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo. And first, I request you, sir, to kindly officially launch the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026 logo, marking the beginning of a new chapter in this global clean energy journey. Ladies and gentlemen, can we do a better round of applause as the official logo of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026 is unveiled? Thank you very much, esteemed dignitaries, for doing the honors. And now we proceed to the ceremonial unveiling of the Urja Chakra, the official mascot of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, for which I request the Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, to kindly take the lead and unveil it. Ladies and gentlemen, inspired by the eternal cycle of energy in nature, the Urja Chakra embodies the continuous journey of clean energy from generation to renewal. Let's have a huge round of applause. As the guiding philosophy of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, the Urja Chakra represents this convergence of science, sustainability and civilization, keeping the cycle of transformation in motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers and esteemed dignitaries, for doing the honors. With the unveiling of the Urja Chakra, the official mascot, a powerful symbol, now joins the journey of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. So from sunlight to life, from wind to movement, and from water to power, our official mascot, the Urja Chakra, celebrates nature's eternal cycle of transformation. Thank you very much for doing the honors. With that, we arrive at a special moment as we present the premiere of the Urja Chakra anthem, a musical expression of the spirit, aspiration, and the collective resolve driving the global energy transition. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in experiencing the premiere of the Urja Chakra anthem.
सूरज से निकली एक रोशनी, धरती ने जिसको जीवन दिया, हवा चली तो राह बनी, बूंदों ने दरिया रोशन किया। तो कल था एक ख्वाब हमारा, आज वो ताकत बनता है, हर बढ़ता कदम भारत का, कल का सूरज लिखता है। हाथ से हाथ जुड़े जब सारे, खुल जाए नए किनारे, एक से दूसरी जो चले, और सफर ये चलता रहे। ऊर्जा चक्र चलता रहे, हर दिशा में बढ़ता रहे, रोशनी से रोशनी मिले, भारत आगे बढ़ता रहे। ऊर्जा चक्र चलता रहे, हर दिशा में बढ़ता रहे, रोशनी से रोशनी मिले, भारत आगे बढ़ता रहे।
As the guiding philosophy of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026, the Urja Chakra, the official mascot, represents the convergence of science, sustainability and civilization, keeping the cycle of transformation in motion. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I have one more request to our Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, to kindly now launch the summit website and mobile app, offering participants a seamless platform to explore the program, register for the event and stay informed. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. The RE Summit and Expo 2026 Summit website and mobile app now officially unveiled by the Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, I now have the distinct honor of introducing our chief guest, a seasoned parliamentarian and an accomplished administrator. Shri Prahlad Joshi has been at the forefront of several key national initiatives throughout his visionary leadership of important portfolios in the Government of India. As the Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy and Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, he is providing very strategic leadership to India's efforts towards expanding renewable energy capacity, strengthening energy security, and advancing sustainable development. As the president of the International Solar Alliance Assembly, he also plays a very pivotal role in fostering international cooperation and reinforcing India's leadership in the global transition towards clean energy. It is my proud privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to invite our chief guest, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, to kindly address the gathering. It is such a profound privilege. Let's welcome him with a tremendous round of applause, please.
Shri Shripad Nayak, Secretary MNRE Shri Santosh Sarangi ji, Director General ISA Shri Ashish Khanna, Mission Director National Green Hydrogen Mission Shri Abhay Bakre, JS JBN Subramanian Shri Rajesh Kuladi, members of the diplomatic corps and senior officials of the Government of India, industry leaders, distinguished guests, and friends from media. Namaskar, warm welcome to you all. We all heard Secretary Sarangi, Shripad Nayak, Ashish Khanna, and Subramaniam, and also we have heard the anchor also who has explained more than all these speeches. And this is the remarkable story of the India's RE transition. The progress we have made gives us the confidence to take the next step. In our tradition, every new initiative begins with the sankalpa. That is in English it is called resolution. Normally when New Year comes, we make a new resolution. Before this event also, we are going with a new resolution. It is our way of aligning inherent action and the purpose with the commitment. Today's resolution is, that is Sankalp. Ayam nija paroveti ganana laguchetanam. Udara charita nantu vasudaiva kutumbakam. This Vasudaiva Kutumbakam, this was the slogan in the G20 also. So this means the narrow-minded think in terms of mine, means it belongs to me, it is mine, and it belongs to someone else. That is narrow-minded thinking. But those with the noble and generous outlook see the entire world as one family. So now with this sankalp, with this resolution, we want to go for the, not only in India, in the entire country. That is why Secretary MNRE gave this idea to merge both ISA and green hydrogen along with our, what we previously called as our renewable energy investor meet, global renewable energy investor meet. Today marks the beginning of the India's efforts to build one of the world's foremost platforms of renewable energy dialogue, innovation and partnership, and today's curtain raiser marks the formal beginning of the journey. In this November, Bharat Mandapam will become the meeting place of the global renewable energy community. Over 4 days, from 2nd to 5th November, it will bring together governments, policymakers, regulators, industry leaders, investors, innovators, researchers, manufacturers, developers, startups, and young entrepreneurs from across the world. This is a big sector. All the people who are involved, they are coming together. I urge the investors from across the globe, including the venture capitalists, angel investors, patient capitals, pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, financial institutions, and global clean energy companies to become the part of India's renewable energy growth story. I also extend a warm invitation to all ambassadors, high commissioners, members of the diplomatic community, and our international partners to join us at Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026 and be part of India's clean energy journey. India offers a scale, stability, policy certainty, and long-term growth opportunities. We will earn good returns on your investment. Bharat RE Summit will be a good opportunity to become the stakeholders in one of the world's fastest growing clean energy market and one of world's the fastest growing economy also. We will provide the platform where the ideas will translate into the partnership into investment, and investment into the projects. The Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo will be a platform where the entire clean energy ecosystem comes together to address the shared challenges and create new opportunities. Friends, the scale of the summit will reflect the scale of India's aspirations. I am delighted to share that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has graciously agreed to inaugurate the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026. His presence reflects the importance that India attaches to the renewable energy, not merely as a source of electricity, but as a central pillar of Vikasit Bharat, that is, developed India, and as an important contributor to the global sustainable development. The summit will also witness the participation of several chief ministers of the country. The summit has also been designed with a fully global outlook. Invitations have been extended to 34 countries for the Bharat RE Summit. ISA, that is ISA, has in the 128 countries for the assembly. Ambassador, government representatives from around the world. Summit will also bring together leading RE developers, technology companies, manufacturers, battery storage companies, green hydrogen pioneers, financial institutions, international organizations, and investors. In the essence, the entire renewable energy value chain will be represented under one roof. What makes this edition even more significant is that it will be held alongside two landmark international events, the 9th session of International Solar Alliance and the 4th International Conference on Green Hydrogen. These three global platforms at one venue will create an unparalleled opportunity for industry, finance, and research institutions to engage with one another and shape the next generation of the clean energy solution. Friends, during today's curtain raiser, we will also be we have already unveiled the official identity of the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026 through the launch of digital portal and mobile application. The website and the application formally open the doors for the governments and the industry from across the world to become the partners in this collective effort. I invite all of you to book your participation, reserve your exhibition space, and mark your calendars. Come to Bharat Mandapam this November and be part of India's clean energy story. In 2024, after I assumed the charge of the Minister of MNRE, we hosted the fourth RE Invest. It brought together more than 50,000 delegates across the 360 global companies. The success of RE Invest reaffirmed India's position as one of the world's most attractive destinations for RE investment. In just 2 years, as already mentioned, our scale and capacities have grown significantly. It is therefore time for our RE Invest to evolve. In coming days, India will cross the landmark 300 gigawatt of installed non-fossil fuel capacity. In a couple of weeks, PM Surya Ghar, that is rooftop solar, Muft Bijli Yojana will also cross 50 lakh beneficiaries households. That is 5 million. It is a journey that gives India's the confidence to convene the world, and this is the journey that I would now like to share. Non-fossil fuel capacity, that is from almost 75 gigawatt to 297.36 gigawatt today. Solar capacity, it was around 2.8 in 2014. Today it is 162. 58 time growth. Wind capacity, it was 21. Today it is 57.4. Bioenergy, it was 8.1 and today it is 12. Solar module also has been mentioned. It was 2 gigawatt, today is 200 gigawatt. Self manufacture has begun, 30 gigawatt, now it is being manufactured. Wind turbine, solar tariff, everything has been mentioned. I do not want to repeat that. The confidence that the world places in India today is built on the record delivery. It is because of India's demonstrated that we are now in a position to bring the global renewable energy community together on one platform. Like last RE Invest, Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo will also have an exhibition of technologies and products. But overall, it will be an opportunity to share the experiences from the partnership and collectively shape the next phase of the global energy transition. Friends, today we have also unveiled the summit's official logo, Urja Chakra. Urja Chakra represents the philosophy that has guided India's clean energy journey. Urja Swaraj, Jan Kalyan and Vishwa Kalyan, that is welfare of the world. Urja Swaraj means energy sovereignty. It is the belief that India must shape its own energy future by generating its own energy and building the domestic capabilities. This leads Jan Kalyan, that is public welfare. When a farmer irrigates his fields with the solar pump, when the family generates the electricity from its own rooftop, the benefits of the energy transition reach every individual, every person. And when countries achieve energy sovereignty while empowering their people together, we move towards the Vishwa Kalyan, that is welfare of the world. That is what I said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is the future, shared prosperity, sustainable development and collective well-being. With this belief and ideology, Bharat RE Summit is being held at such a global scale. As I said earlier, 2 more international events are being hosted alongside the Bharat RE Summit. The Ninth International Solar Alliance Assembly will bring together member countries to strengthen the global cooperation in scaling the solar energy, improving the energy access, and accelerating the deployment of affordable clean energy. As a founding country of International Solar Alliance, India remains committed to working with the partner nations, particularly those of Global South, to build the capacity to mobilize the finance and expand the access to the clean energy. I urge all my country counterparts to participate in the ISA assembly. The fourth International Conference on Green Hydrogen will provide a dedicated platform for the governments, industry, researchers, and technology leaders to deliberate on the opportunities for the industrial decarbonization. As countries develop the hydrogen ecosystem, strengthen the supply chains, and create the international market, this conference will encourage the collaboration that supports the growth of global green hydrogen economy. Together with Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo, these events will create platform where the stakeholders can engage across the entire clean energy value chain. Friends, Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo 2026 represent the next chapter in India's engagement with the global renewable energy community. As I said in the beginning, today's curtain raiser is our sankalpa, that is the resolution. The Bharat RE Summit will be its fulfillment. I warmly invite governments, industry leaders, investors, researchers, innovators, entrepreneurs, and development partners from across the world to join the Bharat Mantapam on 2nd to 5th November 2026. I look forward to welcoming you all to New Delhi for what will be one of the world's largest and most significant gathering dedicated to renewable energy. With these words, thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that truly unparalleled and forward-looking address. Your remarks have beautifully reflected India's extraordinary renewable energy journey, one founded on bold vision, decisive action, and consistent delivery. By reaffirming India's commitment to energy security, technological advancement, innovation, investment, and international collaboration, while placing people, prosperity, and sustainability at the heart of this transformation, you have articulated a compelling vision for the future. Your call for nations, industry, investors, and innovators to come together under the Bharat Renewable Energy Summit and Expo and the International Solar Alliance has truly reinforced India's position as a trusted global leader in advancing the clean energy transition. Can we have a thunderous, resounding round of applause once again for our Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, for the word of thanks, let me take the privilege of inviting Shri Abhay Bakre, Mission Director, National Green Hydrogen Mission. Can we please welcome him to the podium with a huge round of applause? Shri Abhay Bakre.
Thank you, ma'am. Honorable Union Minister Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, Honorable Minister of State Shri Sripad Yeso Naik ji, Secretary MNRE, Director General ISA, senior officials from MNRE, Solar Energy Corporation of India, NICE, colleagues from ISA, excellencies, ambassadors, and officials from diplomatic missions, industry leaders, champions, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. We have now come to the end of a wonderful evening. The huge gathering here and followed by inspiring addresses by honorable ministers have affirmed that the forthcoming event, BRES, is going to be huge success. But in that regard, we seek participation from almost all stakeholders who are involved either directly or indirectly in the renewable energy sector. So let me thank first our Chief Guest, Honorable Union Minister, for his presence and of course giving the full impact which we can expect from this new edition of a Bharat Renewable Energy Summit, which is coinciding with the ISA General Assembly, inviting more than 100 members, more than 30 members from the international community, and of course, the fourth edition of International Green Hydrogen Mission. We are also thankful to Minister of State for his inspiring address. Secretary MNRE has given the journey for the last decade, how the renewable energy has taken shape and giving enough confidence and lessons for the entire world, how the policies and the guidelines available for the industry can transform any sector which is initially depending on government subsidy or public funding can come and become a global market-based economy. We are thankful to my colleague Mr. Subramaniam for his opening remark and also Director General ISA who put forth how the different countries are coming together to make sure that sun and all other kinds of natural energy are available for us to meet various sustainable development goals. The representative from diplomatic missions, your kind presence here, valuable time, again inspire us that the event which we are waiting in the first week of November will be a heartening event, giving benefits and takeaways for each and everyone who will be participating in that. It includes researchers, policymakers, even innovators and students for that matter. Our special thanks to ISA team, MNRE team, but most important, our Pavilion Interiors and the Miraki Communication who have wonderfully given the videos, the AVs, the design for logo and all other materials to make this event a huge success and very attractive. Our special thanks to them. Our thanks to media friends who are also covering these events and all the discussions, giving a good lead for our main event which we are waiting. So finally, we await all of you, India awaits all of you to make the RE Invest or BRES, the new name for that, in the first week of November at an excellent venue, Bharat Mandapam. I am sure most of you have already attended the event, but this Bharat Mandapam in the first week of November will bring you a memorable event in this year's edition of renewable energy in the entire world. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you very much, sir, for those gracious remarks and for bringing this memorable curtain raiser to a fitting close. And with that, we thank the Honorable Union Minister once again, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, the Honorable Minister of State, Shripad Yesso Nayak ji, and also the esteemed dignitaries gracing the dais. And ladies and gentlemen, as we applaud for them, I'm going to request you to please remain seated, and we will first wait for the exit of the Honorable Minister, since he has a very important and urgent appointment, ladies and gentlemen. So I'd request all the guests in our midst to kindly remain seated.